I was sick while recording this audio, so sorry if I sound weird. Quake is a gothic shooter made by IDsoftware, the masterminds behind basically all of PC gaming as we know it. The game is themed around dark and satanic enemies that are being commanded by the evil antagonist, Quake. Her real name is Shub-Nigger-Ruff, but I'll call her Quake, who you see throughout the game in subtle ways, such as the game's logo and stained glass windows. In Quake, you play as a Marine, later named Ranger because of Quake the Arena, who got a call and arrived an hour and a half later, because Quake is invading them through their slipgates and possesses some fellow Marines and guards to kill you. I wonder if I've heard that before. The arsenal of Quake 1 melded the arsenal of almost all future IDsoftware titles. Never pistol though. For example, melee, shotgun, stronger shotgun, automatic weapon, stronger auto weapon, explosive launcher, stronger explosive launcher, and weird laser weapon. For making this video, I used the source port, basically an enhanced version of the original game, Quake Spasm, because I don't like the view bobbing in dark places and couldn't turn it off. By the way, the Half-Life engine named Gold Source is based off the Quake 1 engine, so more points to Quake. The enemies of the game are very important to the gameplay, so here are some noteworthy ones. The Grunt wields a shotgun, and it's the starter enemy in the game. The Enforcer is a beefed up grunt with a projectile weapon that deals medium damage and appears in episode 2. The Ogre appears in the second level of the game and shoots grenades at you, and it's a chainsaw that shreds you close range. The Knight has a medium damage melee attack and not much health. The Death Knight is a beefed up knight with more health and an attack that sends a flurry of projectiles towards you. Squareheads are flying torso looking monsters that shoot a volley of medium damage projectiles and have medium health. Just an all-rounder enemy. Zombies appear in the game and act like dry bones, and come back unless you exploit them, and they have a ranged attack where they throw their brains at you. The Shamblers are large and have a huge health pool. They also wield the Thunderbolt, which I'll talk about soon. The Fiends are probably the most annoying enemy in the entire game, and the fact that they jump at you and deal either tiny damage or a massive amount of damage, killing you instantly. The last noteworthy enemy is called the Vor. Yes, it is called the Vor, and shoots homing spikes at the player and deals massive damage. They are annoying and they suck. Ranger's arsenal is composed of 8 weapons. The axe, a melee weapon, a weak shotgun, the double-barreled, the nail gun which shoots nails at a moderate pace and does medium damage, the super nail gun which consumes 2 nails per shot and does high damage, the grenade launcher, a zombie exploding machine, a rocket launcher that is a devastator for orcs, and finally, the Thunderbolt. It uses plasma energy, explodes you underwater, and is very powerful, ending almost all enemies in under 5 seconds. The game has an episodic structure, meaning that every time you complete an episode, your weapons are stripped from you, and you start with the base shotgun and axe. This was standard for games at the time, but what makes this game's selection process unique is that you enter them using the slipgate complex, where you also select the skill you want to play on, such as easy, medium, hard, and a secret nightmare. Quake is full of dark and gritty, but open areas that are full of switches and pickups. Enemies are both recognizable and similar at the same time. You can recognize them at a glance, but they all have the same aesthetic. The enemies fit in just as well as the environments you find them in, satanic and gothic. Lots of the maps are maze-like castle levels, in which you will see almost no bright colours at all. You'll just be seeing bricks, stone, and dirt, with some of the textures being based off previous id game textures. That also applies to Doom. The soundtrack of Quake is mostly ambient tracks, composed by the founder of 9 Inch Nails, the rock band, who also feature their logo on the nail boxes in-game. The ambient tones really add to the atmosphere the game goes for. All of the weapons have punchy sound effects that display the power of the weapon you're using very, very nicely. The story of Quake is pretty simple. You are a Marine. You get a call to go to a secret facility where teleportation experiments happened and other strange experiments. You find zombies and Quake's minions. You kill them. You collect runes to open the gate to Quake's lair. Every episode you collect a rune. You kill Quake. Most of the places you traverse throughout the game are Quake's dimension that they took over from the original inhabitants. Quake is one of the most influential FPS games, and also one of the most influential multiplayer FPS games. Quake is basically responsible for all first-person shooters with multiplayer. Esports and other competitive tournaments wouldn't exist without Quake. Quake's modding scene is pretty large, but not as much as Doom or Half-Life's, but there is still a wide array of mods to try. By the way, Team Fortress 1 is a Quake multiplayer mod, so even more points to Quake. The game is basically the first true 3D FPS game. Wow, I wonder how that happened. If you compare this full 3D to other games at the time, especially the build engine, such as Duke Nukem 3D, you can see the difference at a glance. For example, the build engine has some wonky mouse look, while Quake has smooth and clean looking. Quake loves its bridges. You can't stroll through the start of a map before seeing the technical marvel that is a floor above a floor, or a floor above a lift. The Half-Life engine named Gold Source is based off the Quake engine, so a lot of points to Quake. The importance of Quake as a game cannot be understated. Anyway, thanks for watching my first review video. Expect a Half-Life review and a Doom review in the future.